straight, never capped. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the 15 Minutes with G Slack show, the show where we aim to humanize those who are demonized and misunderstood. I am your host, G Slack Super Slacker, Slack the Savior, Slack your boy. And today I'm with a very special guest. He all the way out in Atlanta, Georgia. He done dropped 2 projects this year in the first month of 2023, already applying pressure. Crewsont. What's going on, man?
What up, man?
What is the deal with you? So, man, first thing I want to ask you about, and first thing with the viewers is, tell us a little bit about, what you do and how you started to do it.
Um, with the music, I mean it's a crazy story how I got into it. Because I used to actually just produce like dubstep and stuff like that. I didn't do didn't really plan on being a rapper or nothing like that. And I was actually at the tattoo shop getting a tattoo, and I ran into a homie. His name is Hannibal Lecture, and he hadn't released any music, but he's just one of those dudes that just be freestyling all the time. And he was really cocky, real arrogant. And he said, man, I could freestyle any type of beat, any this, that, you know what I mean? He said, I could do all of it. And I gave him a beat, and I'm like, bro, I said, if you could do a song, I was like, bro, I'll pay for the studio mix. I'll put you in there. I'll get you a real mix and mastered song. And then when we got to the studio, it was at Underground Sounds. I think it was in Columbus, Georgia. Ray Baker, and he said, "Who's doing the hook?" And this motherfucker looked right over at me and said, "He's got it." And I ain't never recorded or nothing in my life. And I just went in the booth, and that's when we recorded All That We Know. And I thought the song was pretty good. Released it, and I think within the first time releasing it, having like no promotion, no nothing, I think that song accrued almost 30 to 40,000 streams in the first month and a half. And I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of it had to do with my face tattoos, but ever since then, I was like, damn, bro, there's some money to be made, and it was a lot more fun than sitting there and producing beats.
Yeah, I believe it. So you said early on you was producing dubstep.
Yeah.
Was that your initial inspiration, or were you listening to anything else as, kind of a younger kid?
Uh, when I was growing up, when I was about 18, I've been a DJ most of my life. So all I've been doing is just DJing raves, DJing weddings. I mean, like, if you look at my face, man, there ain't many options for jobs.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always been a DJ, and being in Atlanta, there's a huge rave scene. So there's a lot of electronic dance music. Dubstep was a really big thing. Trap started taking over. So I just started getting into that with me being a really popular DJ. I mean, I was DJing 4 or 5 nights out of the week. I was like, well, shoot, what's another way I can get my revenue sources, accrue? And I was like, well, shoot, they already know my name. They're already doing this. I said, let me start making beats. Let me start making dubstep. You know what I mean? Give them something that they could actually look up, when they look me up.
Yeah, so Atlanta is probably the biggest city in the world right now, or at least the biggest hub for pretty much all hip hop and trap music in general, besides LA. With your specific subgenre, which I would call like, horrorcore, screamo rap, is it hard to find people to collaborate with in your area?
Within the city, yeah, it's really tough. It's mostly just a lot of trap artists. I was gonna say trap is the biggest thing out here. Gangster rap and trap. I can kind of mix with a little bit of them, you know what I mean, doing the scream rap and stuff. But I mean, the only other big artist out here that does the same genre or style of music is Sinister. And I
Yeah,
think
I was gonna ask you
he's the
about him. He
only
had a
one.
bunch of, oh my bad, you said?
Oh no, you good. I said I think he's like the only one out here that I know of that's really in the same subgenre that I'm in.
Yeah, so I seen, looking through your discography and looking through your last 2 projects and really pretty much all the stuff you released in 2022, you've been able to really touch on all the big artists in, I guess, your area of that genre, because I'm seeing a whole lot of big names, Trippy the Kid, Sinister, B Train, people like that. And, it must provide a whole lot of, I guess, a boost in confidence to you to be able to really reach up to them big people.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised. Like most of those big people, like Sinister. I was doing songs with Sinister when he had 15,000 monthly listeners and just got his first World Star hip hop feature. And that now, I mean, I look at him, I'm like, holy shit, bro, he's got like 2 million monthly listeners. Um, Trippy the Kid, pretty much all of them. I mean, they're all of them were mostly just homies on my Instagram that I just chopped it up with. We did a song, and then they ended up blowing up. And I'm on my way, getting up there, but they ended up popping hard.
So, what would you say? I guess we're gonna have to talk about the tattoos. What would you say your tattoos have to do with your commitment to your game and your role that you playing in the industry right now?
Uh, well, a lot of the reason that I got my tattoos was just to make sure I never give up. Yeah, they bring a lot of attention. Yeah, if we go to the club, we talk, we do anything, you're gonna remember my face, and you probably gonna remember my name. But a lot of it's just forcing myself to keep that commitment going. And I used to work a 9 to 5 job. I hated it. I used to work at a grocery store. Wasn't for me.
Hell no.
And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tattoo my whole face, and I'm either gonna make it or I'm gonna die trying.
That's a fun way to think about it. That's for sure. Because it's a lot of people that they way too scary to even take that first step. And then once you take that step enough times, you far enough down the road where you say, "Hey, I'm almost there." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there ain't no turning back for me. It's either I make it or I die.
Hell no. So when was, I guess, in your musical journey from the start of you doing that hook to where you at now? When was the time that you said you really needed to apply that pressure the most?
Probably last year. I was gonna say I dropped my first major album, I think, in 2020. It was a 666 Slavic, and that was before I had any like super major traction. I mean, I was pushing out music videos, I was pushing out content, but you know, making that snowball when you first start out, that's rough. It's rough getting your name out there. And then one of my songs popped off on it, Blood, and it actually got picked up by the Spotify algorithm, and it still gets picked up by it on Discover Weekly almost every single week. It gets popped up, and maybe each month I get 30, 40,000 streams off of it just on Discover Weekly. But after that, I came out with Ignorant Scream Rap, and then once I hit that, I was like, I had kind of had a little bit ball rolling. Me and Trippy were chopping it up, and we dropped a song called Danimals, and he was like, "Yeah, bro." It was before he got signed and everything. He said we could drop it as a collab, and when I dropped it as a collab, I bumped up. I got 50,000 monthly listeners. I started getting people hitting me up left and right. And once I saw I had that big fan base and that buzz going, I seeked it. I did what I could. I reached out to every single artist in the subgenre that I'm in. I reached out to people that sounded like me, that sounded different, whatever I could, and just tried to use that clout and that buzz I had going. And I said, "Hey, bro, let's do a song." And I just started. I was in the studio probably 4 to 5 hours a day, recording hooks, opens, verse opens, getting beats made, and I just sent them out to everybody, and then just got that ball rolling. And then this last year, 2022, is when all them songs got rolled out and released, and I mean, I've more than doubled my fan base since then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've definitely seen your numbers growing greatly. Like I said, I took a look back and it's definitely been going, a real fast pace for you this last year, and it's definitely gonna keep on going this year. So let me ask you about your chin tattoo. What's that? Is that a 91,
94.
94 birth year?
Yeah, that was the year I was born.
Okay, okay. Walk me through some of the other ones. Just give me a little description.
I be forgetting all the face tattoos that I have. Um, let me see which ones I got on here. I mean, a lot of them are random. There's a lot of cool ones, a lot of deeper ones. I mean, I got Crewsont when X died. I got bad vibes on there. One of my homies, he killed himself, so I got a band-aid. He always had his nose is always breaking and shit, so I just got a band-aid across my nose. I mean, there's a lot of random ones. I got Heartless on my forehead.
Which one hurt
I've
the
been through a
most?
lot of shit.
I believe it.
The
I
one that
believe
hurt
it.
the most, man, honestly, the eyelids and on the nose. I don't know if you've ever been pepper sprayed before, but
Mm-mm.
getting tattooed on your nose is like the same thing because it vibrates your sinus cavity so bad. So it makes your eyes water where you can't see, your nose is slanting. It's horrible. It's awful.
So, how much do you think you spent from beginning of your tattoo journey to where you are now? How much money?
I would say easily in the 30 to 40,000 dollar range.
Damn.
Because I was gonna say the face. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of money in the face, but then when you go to my body and like my arms, I got portraits and stuff everywhere. It's just it all starts adding up. It's like 800 here, 500 here, 600 here, 800 here. It's just goes up and up and up.
So are you completely covered, 100% head to toes?
Oh yeah, the only thing that ain't really covered, I ain't my ass cheeks.
No
I got
ass
a
tat?
little, yeah, I got a little bit going towards my ass, and I was like, nah, bro, this shit hurt bad.
Yeah, that's
I
like
gave
the
that a
forbidden zone. That's the forbidden zone. Hell
yeah,
no, hell
shit. I
no.
wear underwear, you know. What I mean, I wear pants if I got to, bro. I ain't. That
Right,
hurt
right.
bad.
So DJing at the clubs, man, did you ever use that as an opportunity to kind of push your own stuff, or were you never in those type of clubs?
So I use the DJing to essentially push more of my like electronic music. I was gonna say DJing now. I don't typically DJ too much now. It's so oversaturated. There's not a whole lot of money in it. I make a lot more just sitting back off of streams or doing promotion posts on my Instagram. So I really don't try to push myself out there that much. But a lot of the clubs around here, it wouldn't even matter if I played my music anyways. They probably look at me crazy like, what the hell's this? I was gonna say in this area, I was gonna say this music doesn't typically thrive that well. Like every show that I get booked for or anything like that, the closest place that I'm usually going to is Florida, either like middle Florida, Tampa, somewhere like that is really the only spot that'll pay for a show for my genre of music, so to say, like across in LA and stuff like that.
So have you done a lot of shows as, the rapper Crewsont or just the DJ?
So locally, I've done a lot as the DJ Crewsont. I was gonna say as the rapper, I've done way more shows than DJing, but that's mostly all around. Like I've done shows in Melbourne, Florida, Tampa. I've done a few in Atlanta, just not too many. Columbus, Georgia. I've gone all the way to Detroit, New York. I've
You
been to
been,
LA.
bro? That's where I'm from, bro.
Oh, you from Detroit?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. I'm in Chicago right now, but I just moved out here 6 months ago, man.
Yeah, I was in Detroit. It was February. It was like February 5th through like the 16th. We're doing like
Word.
a mini tour up there. Oh, that
What
shit was
spots did you hit?
cold. I'd have to look on my Instagram. I posted it. The Grid. We performed at the Grid and some other place.
Oh, so you know Sev and Sherwood and them?
Yeah. I was gonna say a lot of my homies did songs with them. Yeah, we performed with them at the Grid. I
Yeah,
was gonna say I got
so
pictures and
them is
everything.
actually my dogs from back home, man. That's crazy. That's a small world, bro.
Small world. Yeah, we just did a song on that last album I did with Sun Sacred. We had Baby Eros on there.
Man, Baby Arrows, yep. That's a cold dude right there. I done been to a session where he produced for me at his crib. Boy cold with it. And he cold on the guitar too.
Yeah, he caught me off guard. See, I'm from down here, so when you see a white boy in an oversized T-shirt and a toboggan on, I'm thinking, oh look, he's about to do some trap shit. And he got up right before we were about to perform. He was opening for us, and then I saw him whip out a guitar, and I was like, "What's he doing?" And he just started singing, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Oh, he's good." He's like a modern day Lil Peep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's very talented. I've seen him live on stage a bunch of times. He got his live band that they be doing crazy shows with. They run a great production, fam. So what other cities have you been to, besides Detroit and Florida?
I've been to New York, Connecticut, like around Sanford area. I've been to LA before.
What you think of that scene?
LA was, I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. You know what I'm saying? The music scene, bro. I love the music scene.
It's
I
crazy
love
out
the music
there.
scene. But I think just like with how my face tattoos look, bro, and I guess with like how bad the gangs are out there, like I don't know, man. When I was down there, bro, I probably had 3 or 4 people trying me up.
Oh, I believe it. It was probably treating
I
you
mean, I
mad
said, where the
hostile.
fuck you from? What street you on? I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't never had to deal with this shit in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
So did you grow up kind of in the city or were you in the outskirts?
I grew up in the city. I actually grew up in Washington, Olympia, in Seattle, and then I moved down here maybe when I was like 14 or 15. But I've always been closer to the city, and I mean, I grew up around Atlanta and Columbus, Georgia, so around the outskirts, but in the city. So it's kind of 50-50.
Oh, okay, okay. So did you hear like that type of music around where you was at when you were a kid? Like, did you hear a lot of, grunge, horrorcore stuff like that?
Dude, I didn't when I'm so like different with my music. When I was growing up, it was all about EDM, dubstep. I think Skrillex was popping off when I first started, started getting to that point where I started doing music. And then I just went with that electronic and that trap scene. I don't even know how I got into the genre I did. I think I was just on YouTube one day and I ran onto that trash channel and I listened to Mikey Rotten's Death Note, and he does like punk rap, and I was like, wow, dude, I didn't even know that they could do stuff like this. I was like, it sounds so cool and it's so hype. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and then I was like, that's what I want to do. So I just did it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said big G slack, give it straight, never cap. Smoke an eighth out the pack, that's a blunt down the hatch. Don't play fight, I play smash. Rest my head up on that ass. I know she gon' get attached once I start blowing the back.